What's going on, everyone? Continuing this little adventure, we're going to go into the next part of this series, which is the we did line application last time. Today we're going to do some Discord, and there is actually a lot more to Discord than there is to line, in my opinion. And just more than my opinion, there's just a lot to it. So I'm just going to try and cruise through this as quickly as possible. There's some stuff I'm going to leave out, but I'm going to leave you a link in the description to a video that goes into a lot more detail, and you can get things like, I'm not going to go too much into the bots that you can get, but there's like translator bots where it translates certain languages. There's HefBot, which you learned in the line application, which I'm not going to take the time to do just yet in this application. I may do another video and go over the bot situation, because there's like a music bot, there's HefBot, which is for Lords Mobile specifically, but you can listen to music with one of the robots and you can translate messages with another one of the robots. So there's all sorts of different kinds of stuff you can do. You can even set up one of your robots to be a moderator and specifically sniff out certain types of content. So, there's a lot to do that I'm going to skip completely over in this video. We're just going to get through some of the real basics. I'm not going to teach you how to set up Discord as far as logging in an account and creating an account, all that kind of stuff. But we are going to go into this little server that I created. So let's start out with that. The first thing when you're creating a server, you're going to just press this little plus button. You say create a server. Join a server. And this time, if you join a server, you're going to copy their server link, and then they're going to bring it in here. Now, if you're creating your own server, you're going to name that server. And I think mine's already, the one I have now is already named. So then I'm going to create server. And then I'm going to get this link, and I can share the link, or I can invite friends. And I already did this. So I'm going to go ahead and basically delete this server that I just now created because I don't need it. Delete server, boom. And then I'm going to go into my server that I set up for this specific reason, for this specific conversation. So once you have a server, I would create one for a group if you're trying to do one for your guild rather than just friends, although you could just do friends, but the group one's going to give you a little bit more options on running it successfully for a guild, I believe. So the first thing is first is see these categories here I created. Their strategy, 5-minute drill, events, management. There's all sorts of stuff that we can do with organizing. So for example, in strategy, we could talk about gear, heroes, familiars, darkness rallies, research, all sorts of stuff. And then in the 5-minute drill, we're talking war rally calls. So if we need everybody to rally up to go attack somebody, that one's good. Or being rallied, get online. Very specifically, some people will maybe mute this one and unmute this one, because if they're getting rallied, they need to hop online fast. And this is a good place to say, at everyone. And then when you start the message, whatever it is, it's going to tag everyone in there, and everybody's going to be able to get online. So that's something that Line doesn't have out the gate. You have to get a bot to tag all. And this just native to the application is the ability to call everybody that you need to inside your guild. So that's really useful. Then, events, Dragon Arena. This is an audio thing, so you can join the voice call. You just press join voice, and you can listen. You can, invite people. See, now I can't use the back button, so I'll just end the call and then use back. But still, you can change settings of sensitivity, how often somebody's allowed to say something, how many people are allowed to be on the call, that kind of stuff. So auto sensitivity, yes. Okay. So in any case, there's a lot of different settings you can do with that. Again, I'm not going to go through all that right now, but the bottom line is you can create text type of chats where you come in here and you have an emergency. You can even find the people that are, I grabbed a couple of people just to have them on my server. I got them to come in here, and I appreciate that they did that. So, but you can click on them and you can call them. You can give them a voice call and keep ringing their phone for 5 minutes straight before that rally marches on them, and hopefully you'll get them up out of bed at 2 a.m. when they're sleeping and getting rallied, and they save quite a few troops. It's happened to me a few times. It's happened to some of my buddies a few times. So useful, and that's available both online and on Discord. But if you go into your Discord server, you have create channel, you have create category. When you create a category, it's going to give you one of these types of drop downs, and then you can actually you can press the plus on any one of those drop downs to add stuff to it. And if you really want to manage the organization of like, okay, strategy should be at top, or events should be at top, or management should be at top, then you go into settings and you can look at your channels, and then you can click right here at the top and you can sort the categories. So which category is at top, which voice channels, which text channels. When you go to text channels, you can even sort them into other categories. So I can take this one, I can say being rallied, get online, and I can bring it in here, although I'm not going to. And then I can also do the same thing for categories. I could say, okay, strategy needs to be, that's cool, but it doesn't really need to be at the top. And events probably would even be underneath that one, and then you just click and hold and drag. And 5-minute drills, that's pretty important. Management, I guess management can go beneath everything else. So that's one way that you can manage these. And speaking of management, I created something that I would recommend creating channel wise. You have your 5-minute drill with the war rally calls. So if you're attacking somebody, or if you're being attacked, that's an important one. And then strategy, you could go on this list for a while. There's so many different aspects of the game that you can include in strategy. So, I'm just scratching the surface with gear, heroes, familiars, darkness rallies, and research. I could throw buildings in there, and troop composition and all sorts of stuff. And that's just kind of the top key categories. And then the events, the Dragon Arena is the only one that you're going to really need audio for, unless you're just having fun. You can create that extra audio channel for that reason. And then management is a really important one. Whoops, let's go back. So management, and then you have your leadership, which could be your R4, R5 in the guild. And then you have admin specific to this application. So who do you want to be able to control every aspect of this application, of this server? Kick people off, boot them, let people join. I mean, you name it. So let's go right into that. Let's go into the settings here, and we're going to look, and we're going to talk about roles. So I created a leadership and an everyone role. This is at everyone. Everyone who's on the server has this. But leadership, I gave them a role color and then display role members separately from online members. And so that way you can see, okay, when this person's speaking, their role is clearly different than everybody else's. And leadership, I want them to be somewhat like moderators. So my R4, my R5, I want them to basically have all the permissions on here that would matter. Manage server, they don't really need to do that. That's administrative. Manage roles, sure. Members can create new roles and edit, delete roles lower than this one, lower than this role. And so, there's certain things they can do. Kick members, ban members, create an invite. Some of that stuff you wouldn't normally give to a moderator per se, but these are leadership. These are R4, R5. So it's like moderators with a boost. So manage nicknames if somebody has something appropriate that they don't want on the channel. Send messages, manage, attach files, all that stuff is good. Connect, speak, voice permissions. So there's really nothing, there's not too much that they can't do except for just manage the server. And so now we can go back and we can say, okay, we want a new role. Click this little plus and then say, that new role is going to be admin. So the admin is going to get the red color. Select. Maybe that's a little intense. Let's go purple. All right. And then display differently. Yes. Okay. Or maybe you don't want people to know who your admin are. Maybe they're both. I don't know which color it's going to give them. It'll give them the higher role. And I think you can just take that. Oh, let's go ahead and save. Oh, one thing before I go away from this page. Administrator. Boom. So administrator gives everything. Bypass channel specific permissions, dangerous permission to grant. It's basically making that the rules for myself are the same as for this person that I'm making an administrator. So if you're an administrator, you have the same level of permissions as the actual creator of the actual server. So that's something that you want to be aware of and careful with. But if you trust your people, then great. Now you can drag these up and say, okay, this role is higher than this role. And leadership should be below admin, so that does work out. And then it'll also, so leadership, when they have permission to change things, change the roles for other people, manage roles. Oh, hey, where'd that go? But manage roles, member with this permission can create new roles and edit, delete roles lower than this one. So admin is not lower than that one. So leadership will not be able to change whoever's in admin, but they could change everyone else. So that's basically how I would set that part of my server up with the roles and the members and management and leadership and what permissions that they can have. There's a way to set it up so that and I'm going to have to kind of play with this a little bit to figure it out, but basically you can set up which channels can be seen by who. In this one, I make sure let's see, determine whether members who have not explicitly set their notifications receive a notification for every message or not. No, I don't want them to receive all messages, only at mentions. Save your people a little bit. I saw how to do this on an actual computer, but I guess it's a little bit different on the application. So I'm going to have to figure out how to go into the settings of a channel and then figure out how, when you're actually in that channel, how to tell, how to tell it to either show itself to particular people or not. I saw a way to do it, and now I'm not able to see it at this time. Oh, here we go, channel settings. So user management, permissions, here we go. Add role, only leadership could see this particular channel. And then you say, can they do this or not? Or doesn't matter. I'm not saying yes or no. Leave it to whatever the normal settings are. And then inside of this channel, can this type of role, what can they do? Manage channel, so they can read message history, and you basically disable a bunch of these if you don't want them to see it. Send messages. No, I don't want them to, so I would go into, what I would do is I'd go in here and I would say at everyone, and in this channel, if I didn't want everyone to see it, no, they can't create an invite. No, they can't manage a channel. They can't manage permissions or webhooks. They can't read text channels. Nope, don't want them to even see it. And then you go through and you mark off everything that you don't want a regular at everyone person to do, right? You save that. Here we go. And now, when we go back to that channel, way back, I guess, now admin has a little lock on it. You can see that little lock, and only people who are allowed to see this channel, which is, I don't know if I set it up correctly when I was messing around in there, but basically you could set it up so only admin can see this one and only leadership can see this one. And I think based on that video, you watched me walk through and find it, so I'm sure I can do it again and reproduce that, but I'm not going to waste your time with that. But the point is, you're going to be able to lock up the channels so that, everybody that's normally on this doesn't see the leadership or admin or anything like that, whereas all of your leadership and admin that are assigned those roles will see that, those roles will see that content. So, sorry for the little muddled up mix up, but I think that's it. Let me just go through my list here, and I'm going to check and make sure that we covered everything that will be helpful to you at this time. There was only... you can assign bot roles, by the way. Same way that I'm assigning leadership and admin, you can create a robot and have a bunch of bot roles. And when you're bringing in those robots, like I mentioned, I'm going to put that in the descriptions. I went through and I found somebody, I couldn't even tell you their name, but basically on YouTube who really knows Discord pretty well. And they're going to be able to tell you how to get those bots. I'll put that description or the link in the description so you can link up with that particular video if you'd like. But that's it on this one. I don't see anything else other than maybe mentioning the emoji situation. So if you upload emojis, you can upload 50 custom emojis that you can use or anybody inside of this server can use. And you can use them anywhere. So when you're actually editing the name of your channels, for example, 5-minute drill, I could put an emoji right at the front with a little space after it, and then it'll always have that. Even out here where you're looking at it, it'll have it in front of that 5-minute drill. And so you could put little identifier icons for each type of category or each particular type of text channel or whatnot. So that's really the last thing that I can think of at this time. But that's how you're going to want to set it up for Lords Mobile. Main thing is you're going to want to get HefBot, and I know I didn't cover that in this video, but HefBot is very, very useful. It goes right into that strategy category, or maybe you make a bots section where all of your robots go. But HefBot's a big one, and if you don't have it on this, make sure you have that line application where it's very simple to add him, add HefBot. And that's it for me. I will catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy until next time. See ya.